Hello. Welcome to another episode of Reckless Nonsense. I'm host Mike.
And I'm Petey.
You're not Mikey. I'm Falcon, by the way.
Thank you for joining us.
You're missing
Check us out. What? What am I missing?
What?
Oh.
Oh, Jesus, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Show the camera. I'm going to zoom in on this. Let me tell you what. He showed up to work last night. No fucking mustache.
Should I just cover my face for the rest of this episode?
Yes.
It's going to be creepier than the fucking music that I'm going to put underneath here. That's
know
what
what?
it felt
By the
like,
time
you
this
showing up
episode
without a
comes
fucking
out-
mustache.
I thought he was like, my mic was muted or something.
No.
Like, you're missing something. I was like, what did I did everything I was supposed to do.
It's like, who are you?
Don't forget to, check out our Facebook page and Twitter and all that shit. You fucking know where it is.
Yeah.
The eight people that like this show, you know where it is.
Just scroll down. There's a bunch of shit there.
Yeah,
Except
there
for
is.
Twitter. I'm thinking about deleting our Twitter. I don't use it a lot, and it's annoying.
I don't ever
Twitter,
post on it.
Twitter sucks.
I don't understand Twitter.
I do, but I'm not good at it.
I understand Instagram more than I understand Twitter, and I don't use Instagram.
No,
it's
but
it's for
Instagram-
people that use iPhones.
Instagram is, picture based. And I don't really feel. I hate pictures. I hate taking pictures. I hate being in pictures. Why are you staring at me like that? You're too old for Instagram anyway, so
Yeah, I
it's
think
not
that's-
for you.
I think that's why I don't really understand.
It's not for
it.
me either. It's really for like, I don't know, like 14 to 23-year-olds. This is just a random age range I'll make up.
I'll stick to
for no
Facebook.
reason.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Mainly for the memes.
I mean, MySpace was mine, and it went under, kind
Oh
of.
God, your top 8.
And your music.
We can talk about MySpace another time, and I'll find my first profile picture from MySpace and send it to you. It's really weird, and I still have it on my phone somewhere.
You're gonna let me put it up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a picture of my face.
We need
It's
Mogi here for that topic.
Oh,
Yeah.
big shit poppin' 16.
All right, well, this is not what we're here to talk about.
No.
Because they didn't have MySpace in the era of the times of the things we're going to talk about.
No.
13 shit.
No, I mean, guess
1346.
Somewhere in there.
Well, maybe technically it was around in the MySpace era.
Actually, it was, and we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But
it's been a while since we've done like a historical event, and actually we had spent a lot of time thinking about historical events, but just couldn't
nail it down.
Couldn't quite nail one down that we wanted to do.
We had one, but we're like,
Yeah, and maybe we'll do it later, but I don't know.
That one's too political.
So this one actually falls pretty well and into the timing because it's almost Halloween.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? So this is kind of dark.
Ooh.
It's dark and ominous.
Boo.
And so I don't know how I came across this topic. I was just looking for something to talk about, and I came across the Black Death.
That's racist.
Hey, why is it gonna be black?
Oh, for fuck's sake. It was such a simpler time back in 1346. Actually, the name didn't happen then. They didn't call it that.
Shoot
then,
'em.
but yeah.
I mean, they would have if they had the option, but I don't know that we had firearms really then.
Well, no, not that I know of. I don't know. It's like napalm. It sticks to kids.
They had incendiary stuff.
They did.
They burned
Like
a lot
tar.
of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, that's off topic. Go
So
ahead.
we're talking about the Black Plague. I believe it was 1346.
Early 1300s. There were a couple different dates I saw, like as early as like the 1330s. That I saw in my
really?
extensive research that I did.
It's not like it really matters.
No,
It's the 1300s.
it was.
Who gives
it
a
was.
fuck?
It was about 700 years ago, give or take.
Yes, very, very advanced
Math.
technology.
Yeah, math.
Math.
Math is hard.
Yeah.
I like doing math, guys.
K5.
Yeah, I started doing math when I was in K5.
Anyway, so while I was doing my research, because we all hear about it, we've all heard about it, we all know it's the plague, They all called it the plague. I mean, that was just what it was.
Ease.
We came across thing like...
Plus, with the whole pandemic going on now, it's been brought up in various news stories and things like...
Well, and that's the other reason I wanted to bring it up, because you want to talk about a real...
pandemic.
Yeah. Right off the rip, the plague wiped out 60% of Europe's population. What the fuck? That's a lot.
I have a question about this. So, obviously, it was a completely different disease than the thing we're dealing with now.
It was.
In your opinion, so we'll go to opinions here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would have the same result if that same outbreak happened now?
No, and
it would still kill a bunch of people.
Yeah,
but not.
I don't think it would.
Not enough.
I don't think it wouldn't kill enough to really get on people's radar anymore, because the bubonic plague.
Well, there's so much research.
Was one of 3 parts of it. It's a bacteria.
Yeah.
Which you can use antibiotics that we now have to.
Yeah, good point.
To fight that.
It's not a virus.
No, it is not a virus, and nothing to do with the plague was a virus. The fact of the matter is, they just didn't have modern medicine. So
it was also a sanitation and hygiene thing.
Well, so I read a bunch of things about that, and so the actual bubonic plague part of it started with rats, of course, and
it's always them damn rats.
It was actually the fleas that traveled on the rats, and
when the rats died, the fleas jumped ship and bit the humans.
Well, and that's kind of what happened. So the rats would travel on ship, in cities, in all kinds of things, in places. And the rats would then die because they were ill, infected, right? And then so these fleas would be feeding on them, and the rats would die. But the certain rats that those fleas bonded with, shall we say, were rats that were more comfortable and actually wanted to be closer to humans.
They chose as the host because they have a parasitic relationship. So they.
Thank you. Yes.
So they choose a host.
Yeah. So it was those specific types of rats that then actually wanted to, for whatever reason, be closer to humans, unlike most rats that
get skittish around people.
Yeah, and
so like it would be the rats that hang around like food markets and stuff that are comfortable around people because they know that people are where they can get their most reliable food.
So what would happen is these rats would die, okay? And the parasites, the fleas, would have to find a new host. But they were able to live long enough, they would get on people's clothing and shoes and whatever, and they would take them to their house, or that's just they would take them everywhere. I mean, think about it. Think about now. They'd be in your car. They'd be in your house. They'd be at your work. They'd be.
Well, that's why it would be a more solvable problem now, because we'd be able to figure out, all right, this is coming from the fleas. Now you need to be checking for these, and then you can bug bomb your house.
Yeah.
We have so much more, so many more resources for it.
Sure.
One of the things I came across that makes total sense now that we're talking about it is when it first showed up in the United States, the first outbreak was in San Francisco, which was a major port city at that time from the Far East. So that goes along with like ships.
Yeah, and so what would happen is they would then travel along with these other hosts, but they weren't their host yet because they were just traveling. They could live without feeding, shall we say. But then what would happen...
even still, fleas and stuff, they can feed off of a host and transfer it to other hosts.
Yeah, they can, and that's exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
But they were actually killing those rats at such a fast pace that they didn't have the rats then to feed off of. So they actually then started feeding off of humans.
Yeah.
And so what would happen is that blood transfusion from the rats would then enter the humans and would get into the humans, and it would create those boils, those big, the
black
pustules,
bottles.
the big red,
angry.
Yeah.
This board
I know.
is driving me banana sandwich right now.
fuck
Look at this.
I'll try not to.
It's warping just from the changing of the
The seasons.
And I mean, obviously, like these were tight gaps when I first built this table, and now you can stick your fingers.
This
in
is
them.
not a 3 seasons room.
No, this is
It's a basement.
It's a 1 season. It's good in the summertime.
Oh
it's
yeah, 'cause it's cold.
Other than that, this is pretty much a trash room to be. Well, you remember when we first started the podcast, we had to run a space heater the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then that space heater.
Where is that space heater?
It's up in the bathroom because that one burned up. The one that I
Gotcha.
had up there.
Um.
Anywho, back to the plague.
Anyways, so they would create these. They would bite them, and those boils and pustules and things like that were a result of those bites. But then it would start absorbing into the bloodstream, and it would go around, and then what happened was part 2, the second plague, which was the pneumonic plague, and basically it was because it would get into your lungs, and people would cough. So now it's airborne.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about the bubonic plague was strictly passed through coming in contact with the fleas.
100%. Yes.
From it was a parasitic.
Yes, 100%. And that's why it dealt with, the 3 different types of plagues, because it wasn't actually just one thing. Like right now, COVID-19 is COVID-19.
It is the virus.
It is the virus.
In the current form that we know it is.
Sure.
Give it 2 months.
Right, and that's another issue too. Who knows? But so that's why this then transformed into that, and so that's your second part of the plague. And I forget what the other one was or how it came about. I didn't do enough research. I'll look.
When I was first looking at like the origin of the Black Death, so you had seen that it had started in China, and the one site that I
initially,
saw
yes,
was Mongolia, which is a very similar area. China and Mongolia border each other. The whole Great Wall of China thing. And then it was originally transmitted from marmots that I saw in an article, which aren't rodents.
They are still rodents,
like
yes.
ferrets.
I suppose there's there's still a lot of unknowns because,
well, it was 700 years ago. Like
yes,
they didn't have computers.
Right.
Yeah, they, the scrolls might have been missing, or the books that weren't really, they were handwritten. In
well, there's that, and just they just were mass graving people.
Oh God, yeah. Because and then going to that, we have no idea how many people actually died,
and that's why it's like
it's a guess.
It's anywhere from 40 to 60%.
And then the number I saw was 25 million to I don't know, however many.
All right, so I saw like 75 million to like 200 and.
Well, it's a huge gap. That's what I'm just trying to illustrate here. Is it's many, many millions that we have no idea how many people died. Because it wasn't like there was a dude at an office going, all right, there's another one. It was, all right, this whole city's fucking dead. Let's burn them all.
Yep.
It says...
That is how they actually
here,
started it.
it's estimated 25 million across Asia alone.
Yeah, that's probably the number I was getting in my head. One of the things I started scrolling through, like the article I was reading about how there was a bout of anti-Semitism going on through it.
Yeah.
And it ended up people were retaliating against the Jews about something with the plague.
In the 1300s.
And I was like, it was like in the 1300s, and I was like, and if you just wait another 600 years in Europe, some really bad shit happened to the Jews again. I was like, man, these people can't catch a break. And then if you go back 1,000 or so years, they were enslaved in Egypt. I was like, man, these... Whew. Sucked to be a Jew in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Right about that.
I mean,
Just ever.
yeah,
At that
yeah,
point,
I mean,
it's not the way to go.
no, man, they really got
you
bad.
has the plague.
And why? Does anybody actually know the reason?
That they were attacking the Jews about the plague? Or just about how anti-Semitism...
In general, I mean...
Well, I assume that the plague and the Jews might have to do with some biblical stuff. Because of all the plagues in the Bible.
And they were very...
like a lot of superstition.
Yeah, superstitious, that's what I
Because our knowledge of science at that time is not even a fraction of the things we know now.
This would be
Obviously.
magic back then.
Oh my god, you would be immediately burnt at the stake if you pulled that thing out. If you had a smartphone back then... Well, I mean, obviously there wouldn't be service and all that, but, whatever.
Let's start shooting people.
So,
Little fireballs.
I did find what the third plague... What the fuck is that?
It's a blower motor.
Oh, okay.
So you'll pull it out in post. Hold on.
I'll pull it around.
Shut up. Now you can isolate it.
Yeah.
Random thought that we could talk about another time is something he just said about how you could just shoot them fireballs of death. I've always thought that it would be super interesting if you could time travel and go back and fight in a war, like when they're all on horseback. They're all on horseback and there's archers and stuff. Yeah. But I can sit up on a hill like 3/4 of a mile away and just start plucking people off.
Well,
they're all in rows too. It's
yeah,
perfect.
they're all marching straight, like, or you just lay down some fire with a machine gun.
I know everything we always talk about comes back to movies, but did you ever see Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness?
No.
Okay, well, you know who Bruce Campbell is, right? No? Okay,
Is what movie?
Evil Dead.
Yeah, no, I've never watched it, but and then that's the guy that also plays he's in another show, and I know the guy's face. I don't know.
It's all part of the Evil Dead shit,
Yeah.
But it's funny. And he ends up back in time with his car and his shotgun. And he calls it a boomstick.
Yeah.
And they're in the middle of fighting the dead because the Necronomicon and all that shit he released all the... Anyways, that just... Yeah. Anyways, movies. Always.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are lots of...
So, the pneumonic plague, which was the airborne, come from people's lungs, coughing, shit like that.
Motherfucker got the Rona!
It had a 90 to 95% mortality rate.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's a good kill death rate.
That's a way to thin the herd.
Septimaic? I don't really know how to say that. Fucking look it up. Had a near 100% mortality rate. It was like the least common, so it didn't come up very much, but it doesn't say whatever would happen due to disseminated intravascular coagulation.
I don't know what that means, but
it means
bad.
your blood's
coagulating in your veins.
Mm.
And
blood clots.
And
it's
it said
hell of a way to go out.
Hell of blood
it
clots.
said the progress of the disease was so rapid that there would often be no time for development of the enlarged lymph nodes that were brought on by the bubonic plague part of it.
So they're just croaked out.
Yeah, it was so quick. Okay, it
well,
says...
I mean, and then this is even like something that now we could treat that, but you would probably die before they figured out what it was.
Oh,
right.
Fuck yeah.
Like
yeah.
now, I mean.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
even now.
If you had like something that coagulated that fast,
Yeah.
like we have anticoagulants and stuff, but they would have to diagnose it so fast that you would probably be dead by the time they figured out what
And
you
honestly,
had.
nobody's willing to do that. Good luck finding a doctor that's willing to diagnose that and treat it that quick. Something like that, they wouldn't even know what the fuck's going on.
It'd be so fucking rare.
There was one place I was reading.
You did.
And I don't remember where it was. It was a place we all know about. I fucking forget. 80% of their population was wiped out. in 5 years. 80%.
Was it? I can't remember. We were talking about a specific country. Was it Italy?
Florence. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in Florence,
Yeah.
Italy. Could you imagine that?
A lot of people.
Well,
I mean, Florence now versus Florence, then there's obviously way more people now.
Still,
sure, we've regained and added.
you also got to scale down.
Can
all
you
these
Google real
cities,
quick
too.
what the world population was? Pick a random year in there. I don't know, 1500.
Well, the cities too weren't as big.
You want in the
as they are
1500, or do you want when the plague was actually?
Yeah, but I mean, because
like 1350.
Yeah, do that. The world population in 1350. Because right now we're sitting at around 7.5, give or take, billion.
I thought we were at 8.
I don't think we made 8 yet, did we?
Who fucking knows?
You know what? I'll do it right at the beginning of the plague. All right. Oh, Jesus. Okay. In total, the plague may have reduced the world population from an estimated 475 million to 350 million. Estimated again. Because
all right,
well,
there was
the
a
actual
census-
population
just give me a number. What do you,
475 million.
so we'll 500 million people. We'll just make it easy.
Yeah.
Right now there is 7.6 billion people.
Billion. That's a lot.
So there are 7 billion more people now than there were then.
Yes.
So
Wipe out 80% of the population now.
a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Wow.
A lot of free guns. A lot of free shit.
Hashtag Thanos ain't got nothing on the plague. No, oh snap, it's oh rats.
You know, and
What? Fuck you, that was a great fucking joke.
no, it was good. It was good. And we were finding that although those were like in history, those were like the main years, 1346 to 1353. Sorry, it's right here. 1353. Those were the Black Death years that everybody
Like
was,
the oh fuck, you're gonna die.
the oh fuck years. Yeah.
Like if you aren't up in the mountains by yourself, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah. But the interesting fact, as we did some more research, was that we found out that it kept
Coming up.
springing up.
Yeah.
It kept
Like
coming up.
every 10, 100 years, it just boop, pop back up, and this same fucking thing.
And it would not quite as bad as
I forget which one
modern
it was.
technology progressed, but
Yeah, I forget which big pandemic it was, but the one was also involving anthrax. When they dug up some of those mass graves, they like tested some shit and they found anthrax. So it wasn't just one fucking thing going around; it was multiple.
Well, you gotta wonder if maybe that's part of what their treatment was or something, because
Oh yeah.
medicine was.
Yeah. Oh, you see ghosts? Here's some cocaine.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut you open and just bleed you out for a bit because you got too much blood in your body.
Yes, but you have to go to the barber to do that.
Yes.
Who's also the dentist.
And then, so, through history and time, they kept popping up and popping up. And we had found one in like 2014. 17.
On Madagascar.
Yeah. And then you found one this year.
There's in July of 2020, there was a case. I can't remember that one, where that one was. But
remember where
the
it was
2017 was the last time there was like a mass, because there were 150 deaths and thousands of people were sick. But our modern antibiotics,
Yeah, 111, I think, died total. It was a very minuscule amount of people.
still, but we're talking almost 700 years after it first showed up.
It's still showing up.
It's still showing up.
And the thing is that when I say that it keeps showing up through history, that's just the bubonic plague part.
Yeah.
That's just the parasitic.
Yeah, because it's linked to a specific bacteria that was named after
It's got a
the
weird
scientist.
fucking name.
I don't know. It's a Latin name. It's
It is.
dumb. Who gives a shit?
It is.
But that's why it still keeps coming back up, because the bacteria still exists all over the planet. It's just when
Pestis.
it's in the right conditions, in the right climate, and has the right parasite to take it to a host, that's when people get sick.
Mm-hmm.
But the reasons that it doesn't happen that often is because we're in a well-developed country where sanitation is, pretty prevalent, and hygiene of people now is much better than it was then.
In most places, I would say, yeah, you're absolutely right.
So the chances of us interacting with it is much.
And that was also another issue because there were no sewers. There was no. I mean, there was shit, literal shit.
And there are people
that
went their entire lives without ever bathing. So,
it's weird.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I shower a minimum of once a day.
Minimum.
And it's generally 2 or 3 times a day because I don't like to feel dirty.
I would say 2. It's very rare that I shower 3 times a day.
But depends still, on what you got going on.
You're having a bad day if I'm showering 3 times a day.
Yeah, I mean...
That's a bad day.
Shower before bed, shower when I wake up. But if I do, yard work, I shower after that.
Well...
So that's a 3rd time in a day.
You're right, but that's not...
No, it's not typical, but that's why it's sometimes.
Well, especially for you, it's not typical.
No, I don't do yard work that much anymore. My motivation to cut the grass is because the city sent me a letter saying, cut the grass or we're going to cut it for you and it's going to be very expensive. And then I'm like, all right, you got me, guys. And I'm not calling their bluff on that because I'm not paying the city $350 to mow my little quarter-acre lot.
Oh, they'll do it too.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I cut it.
So... Just get a goat.
To bring on, we talk about medical advancements. We were that
my cord keeps.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck is that sound?
Everybody knows that beaked
the bird plague mask,
yeah, everybody,
that you see trolls wearing around at Walmart nowadays.
Are they?
I told you I've seen this in a Walmart during this pandemic. Somebody wearing a full black trench coat with a flat brimmed hat and a fucking plague doctor mask.
That's legit.
And I was like, it's entertaining, but you're a fucking loser and you look like an idiot. So whatever.
It is entertaining. At least it's around Halloween, I guess. I don't know.
No. This was months ago, though.
That's someone who had that outfit, right?
I don't know. I'm sure that Amazon had a lot of orders for these while this shit's been going on. I bet you it's going to be a huge Halloween costume for people this year.
I bet.
Yeah.
So basically, it's that big long beak. Most of them had some type of eye coverings.
Kind of like welding goggles, if people know what those look like old school welding goggles.
Yeah, very steampunkish.
Yeah.
Eye covering type things, and just to let you know how medicine was thought.
Let's see how good our editing guy is. Here's a picture right here. There you go.
Of the mask?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, when I pointed my finger up a few seconds ago, that's where you're going to put the picture.
Okay.
It can be right here, right now.
That one gets to be a huge dick.
No. I've already done that. I don't think you ever even saw that, did you?
Yeah.
Me putting the dick in your mouth? All right.
Yeah, but I told you to.
Yeah.
I was like...
Anyways.
It's a full Saturday night.
The beak...
if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
The beak... Yeah.
Speaking of that...
No, we'll get there later. We'll do that. That'll be our tease at the end of the episode.
The beak part of that was filled with flowers and good smelling stuff.
Herbs.
Oh yeah, that's funny. They thought bad smells spread diseases.
They thought that bad smells.
So they were
what was spreading.
They
the
would
disease.
just burn good smelling wood.
They're not
just random shit.
They're not 100% wrong though. They're associating the smell of the dying people with the disease. So it's not that you can get it from the smell. It's just, number one, when you have to interact with people that smell like shit in general, when they're decaying.
But you smell like shit too.
There's a picture on the Wikipedia page of people that were getting gangrene during all this.
Yeah.
So
that was
have you ever been around somebody who has gangrene?
I
smells
have not,
horrible.
but I have.
It's disgusting.
Well, because it's rotting flesh.
Yeah, like my grandma had it, and it was
Oh man.
so gross. It smelled atrocious, and then they had to like cut it all out, and then the wound even still stunk. And then even after the cutout gangrene, it can still come back like right in the spot where it was, because like it can get up underneath the tissue.
Right.
It's
where
nasty.
they can't see it.
So if you had to be a doctor at that time, you might as well pack some fucking shit in your nose that smells better than.
Well, I'm not saying that you don't want to.
No, but like we know this now because science that you don't just go, oh fuck, now I have a disease. Yeah. No, but like they didn't know that, right. So they assumed that because I'm coming in contact with this person, that's how I got it, because I touched them or we interacted, but. They just assumed it, it's kind of like thinking like that a ghost gave it to him or some shit,
But it actually, another fun fact, it actually did not spread through humans' blood. You could not contract it that way.
So the vampires were safe.
Yes.
I mean, this is around the time of Vlad the Impaler, right?
It was because the like parts per million of the disease that was actually in the blood was
too
not
low.
Yeah.
The viral load was not...
Yes.
No, it's not virus, but the bacterial load.
But in the rats, it was.
Yeah. The concentration in their blood was high enough to give it to us.
Right.
But our concentration wasn't high enough to give it to each other.
Correct.
Or anyone else.
Not through blood.
Unless I drank, like, all of your blood.
Science.
That's probably true.
I feel like we could test it out.
Nah. But wouldn't the vampires be safe anyways?
But maybe they'd get a tummy ache.
Maybe.
It's like drinking too much water. Your stomach just hurts.
No. No, they eat a diabetic who's got really high blood sugar. It's like getting a stomach ache because you ate too many sweets.
Oh, that one was sugary.
Or like really low blood sugar, and then they're like,
they're just salty. Crashing.
So salty.
What I also found interesting about those doctors is they were brought in and contracted. They were under contract to only see and treat people with the plague.
In specific, like municipalities would hire them.
They would hire them, yes, and put them under contract. They weren't allowed to see people with other illnesses or anything that was
maladies.
Sure,
that's a good word.
They weren't allowed to do that. They were specifically brought in and only permitted under contract to treat people with the plague.
Well, I mean, when everyone and their mother's dying.
I understand that, but just like right now with COVID-19, well, we're coming into flu season, right? Everybody not that long ago had fucking allergies galore, right? And everyone was like, "Oh my god, you're sniffling." Right?
Coronavirus.
Yeah, right?
You know what time it is? COVID-20.
Ah, fuck.
We're gonna start it all over again.
Let's get into that in a little bit about the coronavirus stuff, but let's finish this because I have a lot of things.
So it was, well, what do you got? This whole like time in history, and I'm talking about during the 1300s, man. It was just so bleak. Like, what do you have to live for? Everybody is dying.
Well,
literally dying.
What was the lifespan back then? You were lucky to make it to 30.
I'd say, probably mid-30s.
I would say that's probably
without
true.
the plague floating around?
I would say that's probably true, yeah.
35.
And, I mean, this even spread to, like, unpopulated areas.
Mm-hmm. The only people that weren't affected were just random-ass islands that had nothing to do with anything else.
So they actually stopped trade between China, Asia. What was it called? The Silk
Road was the main trade route from Europe to Asia.
They had actually shut it down there in Russia, the Russian area. I was reading about this, and because the I don't think it was Russia then. Maybe it was. I don't really know, but because they were worried about it coming in, through the east. But what happened was it actually ended up, they shut down the trades and all the everything like that. so they wouldn't get it from the east, but it ended up sneaking in their back door through the fucking west, and they ended up getting it anyways. But they were historically the last people to actually contract it.
Well, they weren't too far off.
Right. Because they were more worried about it coming in from the east.
Well, they weren't wrong.
They weren't wrong, but then they didn't think about the fact that all these people
It's
over
gonna
here,
just spread. It's gonna loop around.
Right.
Yeah.
and it came in from the backside. So there was a lot of stuff that happened during.
It's like a circle.
Oh, man. Wow. All right, Rob Schneider, calm down.
Movies. It's all about movies.
If it wasn't for the fact that, obviously, we have antibiotics now, we could treat this. The amount of people we have now and the amount of contact we have with other people, if we had something that was that deadly now, it would kill essentially everyone. Because
It'd be like
how many different people do you come in contact with in any given day? On a work day, we come in contact with
Hundreds.
a couple hundred people.
Hundreds.
On a day where I don't work, I still have to come in contact with at least 3 people.
Sure, and that's
just my kids.
Mine. That's a minimum, but then when you start branching out,
Yeah, who they have contact with, and then they have contact with, and
it's like Eskimo brothers.
Yeah, you're 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Not Eskimo
I was
brothers.
like, that's something completely different.
Well, I digress. Yeah, but so I mean, I don't even know where to go.
Well,
from there.
while you're looking that up, look up Blue Waffle.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you didn't already look it up.
everybody knows what a blue waffle is.
Do they though?
Yes.
So
Put a Blue Waffle right here.
through all this,
No, please don't.
through all this came a nursery rhyme.
Is it playing right now?
It's yeah. No, it's definitely playing right now, and that's "Ring Around the Rosies." Pocket full of posies. If you think about this, maybe you didn't. I don't know.
Mhm.
We sang this
Yeah. On the playground.
I was telling someone at work this. I'm
yeah.
Because you would.
like a lot of nursery rhymes are really fucked up.
It's more than nursery rhymes, like fairy tales in general.
Oh,
Or-
actually,
Like you have the Grimm's fairy tales.
I have it. It's in a box in the storage.
The
room.
original, like fairy tales, are gruesome and
Mhm.
not kid friendly at all. Like whoever thought to take these things and
Make them
make them kid
sing-songy and
yeah.
well, even like Hansel and Gretel, it's still about a witch that wants to eat children. Only it ends differently in the book.
Yeah. It does. And
Well, Ring Around the Rosie it was a game. You would hold hands and you would spin, and then you'd all fall down. My kids still play that now.
exactly.
They all spin in circles and they all fall down.
But where it came from, Ring Around the Rosie, was the boils and the red rings that it would make.
Mhm.
You know,
And then you would have posies to smell better.
the posies were the scent to smell everything better. Ashes, obviously
because burning bodies.
because they're burning bodies. Because there were so many. Yeah, There- that's pretty good. There were so many people dying that they couldn't bury these people,
No.
and even though they did, they had mass graves as well.
Oh, it wasn't just that. That's how it stopped. They just were dumping bodies in graves and shutting people in their house.
Yeah, and so they were burning all these, Monty Python, bring out your dead, bring out your dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Now you're going to be dead soon.
I'm feeling better.
I feel happy!
Hunk.
But that's what all that was, right? And so
That's one of the best scenes of that movie.
I love it. And you got the monks.
Yeah. Hunk. Hunk.
I actually know the words to that. That drove me nuts, but
I don't. But it's kind of like a cadence.
it is, and it's all Latin. But anyways,
Yeah, I don't know.
so that's what that was. They were bringing out the dead people, and then they would go to burn them. So ashes, or burning them, and we all fall down is basically like
You're dead.
we're all dying.
Yeah.
Everybody's dying. We're all gonna die, and that's
Thank
what this
God.
nursery rhyme song that kids still ring around the rosy, go holding hands, going around in circles, and then when we all fall down. You know, it's kind of creepy. And it really makes you think.
Especially when you pull up a video and it's a little girl singing. And it's just a little cracked doll's face.
Pocket full of posies.
I'm gonna splash. I'm gonna put that in right now.
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
It's creepy as fuck. It's creepy as fuck.
Oh my god!
He wouldn't watch it. He wouldn't listen to it.
I turned and I saw I was like a porcelain doll face. It was half on the screen. You could just see her left eye. And I turned around and I went, shut that shit off right now. And he goes, no. And I was like, fuck it. And I left the office. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Now we know
I don't need the nightmares. I don't need the nightmares associated with this. Because we talked on the show about night terrors before.
Yeah.
I've had a night terror about a little girl who looked like a cracked porcelain doll. I ain't trying to do this shit again.
Okay.
The good thing is I sleep during the day now, so the whole scared of the dark thing doesn't bother me anymore. But still, I ain't trying to wake up with some little ass girl staring at me at the end of my bed.
Yeah. No, but we'll get into that later. You don't believe in that shit, so
no. I have night terrors. I don't believe in ghosts. That's a completely different thing. I don't believe in ghosts because they're not real.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the research and looking at this stuff, and it really makes you think.
I got an idea from a topic about the topics we were talking about.
I saw it, and it really makes you think. You know, with what we're going through today, and we looked up some statistics of COVID-19 and everything else, and you know, I'm not going to get into it. I don't think it's worth
wasting your breath over?
Yeah, the argument that people may have with it. But imagine yourself during this time. Imagine yourself...
Well, especially because you wouldn't know anything about anything scientific. You would just go, everyone I know is dead.
Dead or dying, and are you lucky if you didn't? I mean...
Well, you're not dead.
Can you imagine
you're not dead, but...
Everyone... You survived, and you're just walking through town, you're like...
Yeah, that used to be Chuck's house, and there was Steve, and there was Bill.
What do you do
his
for,
wife,
like,
his wife,
shit
Typhoid Mary.
Right.
That's a completely different show.
I just, you know, it's really, you know, and we're shutting down everything.
Because I have a cough.
That's the thing I wanted to get into. Like, how long? How long is everything going to be shut down? Like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's a calculated risk to it. Like, pretty much everything's open back up now, but
right now for the moment,
yeah. But like, do we let, without getting into like politics, do we let the government tell us what to do now? Do we trust them? Because they shut us down for what?
What was it? 2 weeks? 14 days?
Yeah, and it's October?
Yeah.
7 months later or whatever.
But the only reason like bars and restaurants and everything closed is because the government told them to. They don't have the authority to do that.
Well,
because we are the government, and when we go, we don't want to do that as a people. What do? What we want, right?
Yes.
So if you have a united front, everyone goes, fuck that. We don't want to shut down. We are all adults making calculated risks. We know that there is this all going on. Mm-hmm. If I want to go out, that's up to me.
Normal day-to-day fucking life.
Yeah.
There's always something out there.
I want to take the calculated risk to go eat TGI Fridays or whatever. Got to get them baby back ribs.
Unlimited meat.
Whatever I want.
Baby back.
I don't know. There's so much to it. Like,
no, I get it.
Do we trust the judgment of the government saying of them saying, you know, you can't go out because of this illness? Well, why don't you tell people like, hey, you shouldn't go out, and let them make their own decisions.
Think about it. Americans since 1776. Why?
Well, I'm not. I've only been an American since 1990.
Fuck your taxes.
I
That's
understand
why.
that, but and that's exactly it. You know, we said, "Fuck you, England. We're not paying your goddamn taxes." And we dumped all their goddamn tea in the goddamn harbor.
Damn you beat me to it. That's how you go fucking fishing for your tea.
Yeah. We said, "Fuck you. We're not doing it." I don't know.
You smell that?
Boston Harbor smells like tea.
We're seriously teetering on getting into politics here, but I mean, I kind of already did going on a slight political rant.
Well, I mean,
on another note, I have to bring this up because it's coming into election season. Not talking about politics, but in my opinion, you have a duty to vote if you're over the age of 18.
Absolutely.
Make sure you're registered to vote. Find out where you can vote. Be educated on what there is to vote about. Know your candidates. Know your issues. Make educated choices. In my opinion, if you are over the age of 18 and you're eligible to vote and you don't vote, you're a burden to society. And also, if you like to complain about things and you don't vote, you no longer have an opinion, in my opinion.
No, shut the fuck up.
Your opinion does not matter.
Nope.
If you vote and your person you like doesn't win, you still get to bitch about it because you voted. You tried to make a change that you believe in. If you don't go vote, you don't get an opinion.
Well, but here's the thing. If you vote and your person doesn't win, you can bitch about it. But the fact of the matter is, you live in this country. That's what the people, the majority of the people wanted.
Yeah, that's not even, like, I don't care who you like, who you're voting for. But if you don't go vote, you lose your right to bitch about things because you're not trying.
But my point is even if you vote and your person doesn't win, you still have to be a part of this country.
Sure.
You can still be you. You can still have your opinions, or we can still disagree and talk about things. But
we're all voting for gay fish, right?
Kanye West, he's running. No, I do not. This podcast does not endorse any specific political candidates or anything.
No, and I'm not going to. Because
and that's like I said. I'm not trying to be political, but you
my
don't
views
get
are my
you don't
views.
get to bitch about new taxes. You don't get to bitch about any of that if you don't vote.
I agree.
And
Amen.
if you have complaints, this is the time that you get to address those complaints. Is when you vote on things, because that's the only way you can have anything change. Is if you don't like what your congressman's doing, you need to vote against them and get them voted out. That's your duty as a person in we the people to govern the country, is to express your opinion about how you want the country run. If you don't vote, you don't have your opinion.
Or better yet, run yourself.
Also valid.
I mean, a little late now, but that's beside the point.
Hashtag 2030. That's what I'm running. Just so we're all on the same page.
2030?
No, but at some point.
Okay. I think that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that's about enough. I think we'll end this, and I have an idea.
All right. Remember, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Cafe Press. Check out our merch.
Oh, yeah.
Some changes are going to be coming to that soon, but for right now, hit up Cafe Press if you want to get our merch. Highly recommend the baseball tee. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. It's super comfy.
Yeah, now, I love my hoodie.
I'm not a fan of the hoodie, so
like
I'm not in good conscience going to recommend that people buy the hoodie I bought. But I absolutely 100% recommend those baseball tees. They're super awesome.
The way they did a print on that is different, and it's way better.
I like it.
It is cool.
The shirt's okay.
It's got a vintage look to it that I think is awesome.
The shirts are okay. Hoodies, they're just fitted very weird.
I don't like it. Mine's perfect. Maybe it's because I'm rounder.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Reckless Nonsense. So, it's your host, Mike.
I'm Petey.
Fuck you. I'm Falcon.
Bye. Bye.
I'm petty as fuck.